Hi, I'm Lisa Van Orman Hadley, and I will be reading from Irreversible Things, winner of the 2019 Howling Bird Press Fiction Prize. Puberty in 6 Acts. 1. On 5th grade maturation day, my mother walks into the cafeteria and sits quietly beside me on the minty blue cafeteria bench, the edge of the table digging into our backs. Her tongue moves from side to side along her upper lip like a windshield wiper. This is a habit she has when she is nervous or concentrating very hard, a habit that has recently started to disgust me. When I left for school this morning, I distinctly remember my mother saying, "See you when you get home." But now here we are, sitting on this cafeteria bench together, watching an outdated movie about Julie's first period. Julie is a tall, pimpled ballet dancer. She gets her first period in her ballet class at school, and her ballet teacher takes her to the library and shows her some books about the birds and the bees. They call Julie's mom, and her mother is excited and cheerfully congratulates Julie on entering womanhood. When Julie gets home, her mother has 2 shopping bags full of different kinds of sanitary napkins and a belt to strap them on with. A belt? And why are they called sanitary napkins anyway? Shouldn't they be called unsanitary napkins? My mother leaves maturation day without saying a word to me. We sit, we watch, she leaves. She doesn't say anything about it when I get home from school that day either. I find a book on the bookshelf in the study called Teaching Your Child About Sex. The cover shows an adult crouched in front of a young girl with a terrified expression on her face. I read it from cover to cover. 2. A few weekends later, my mother and I go shopping. When we're in the dressing room trying on clothes, my mother looks at my bare, flat chest and says, "Have you thought about getting a bra?" I say, "Yes. I think this means that we will look for bras next," and I start to get excited. The boys in my 5th grade class have started to snap the girls' bras at recess. I am terrified that they will claw at my back and feel that there is nothing there. I need a bra. But then my mother and I don't look at the bras. We walk right past them, and my mother doesn't say anything else about it as we leave JCPenney and head out to the ugly blue van. A few months later, I come home from school and find a Kmart bag at the foot of the stairs containing 2 training bras, both white with little pink rosebuds in the center. I leave the bag on the stairs and walk up to my room. My mother knocks on my door a few minutes later. When I open the door, she is holding the bag as far away from her body as possible. "Lisa," she whispers, "did you see this?" I say, "Yes." She says, exasperated, "Well, why didn't you bring it upstairs with you before the boys see?" 3. My 8th grade health teacher, Mr. Blatter, gives us a permission slip for sex education that we are supposed to ask our parents to sign. Instead, I take the permission slip home and put it on the light bright. I go into the kitchen and take the pad of paper from the windowsill where my mother draws little hearts and stars and writes her name over and over again while she's talking on the phone. I slide the notepad under the permission slip and slowly trace the letters of my mother's name through the little illuminated holes of the light bright. Mr. Blatter teaches us about different forms of birth control. The one I think sounds the most poetic is the rhythm method, but it turns out that one isn't very effective. He talks about something called the diaphragm, which I always thought had something to do with singing. I feel like I'm being taught music theory, and I don't even own an instrument. 4. When I finally get my period at 14, I don't tell my mother, even though I know to expect this. Seeing the blood is alarming, and I wonder for a minute if I am dying. I teach myself to use tampons because that's all I can find in the bathroom cabinet. I spend hours crouched in the bathroom with the instructions unfolded in front of me, trying all 3 positions shown on the chart. 1 leg on toilet seat, standing with legs spread shoulder width apart, sitting with legs apart, until, as the instructions suggest, I find the position that is the most comfortable for me. I lick my lips in concentration, the way my mother does, and I finally get one in. The minute I get it in, I am terrified that I will get toxic shock syndrome. The instructions say it is a rare but fatal disease. I have 6 to 8 hours to learn how to take the tampon out before things get dangerous. The first thing I do is go outside to the trampoline to see what happens when I jump and do flips. I remember reading in Teen Magazine that you can't even tell the tampon is there, but I can feel at every moment that it is in me. A foreign object, a ticking time bomb. 5 hours left. 5. I do not die. 6. One day, maybe days later, maybe months, maybe when my mother has reached menopause, the tampons magically appear in my bathroom cabinet, along with a package of pads with wings.